Hi and welcome everyone to another video on my channel. My name is Denis and today we're going to talk about some of the new players we're going to have in FPL next season and what we can expect from them. As usual, if you enjoy this type of content, please consider leaving a like, hit that subscribe button, but now let's get into it. Okay, now before starting the video, let me just say this. I know that it is maybe a little bit too early for some of you to watch FPL content, considering that the fixtures are not announced yet, the prices are not announced yet, but that doesn't mean we can't discuss about some things, right? So I totally fully understand if you're still on a break, but in today's video we're going to talk about some of the new transfers that happened or are going to happen soon in the Premier League, and we're going to start with Liverpool because they were a team who were really active in the transfer market since the beginning. Now, as you can see, here we have Frimpong, Wirtz and Kerkez. From this list, just Frimpong is 100% confirmed, so he's going to be a Liverpool player. That's confirmed by the club, but the other two also is just a matter of when, not if. So these transfers are going to happen probably 90%, I would say, Wirtz and Kerkez from Bournemouth. Now here I just want to discuss a little bit about how these transfers could impact us in FPL next year. As you can see, I put some statistics from the last 3 years from these players. I need to mention that these stats are from the championships, respectively Bundesliga and Premier League, because I didn't include here any cup games, European games or national team games. So if we start with the first option, he is a done deal already. So Frimpong is going to be a right wing back or a right back for Liverpool, whatever you think. Now obviously we don't have any information. The preseason is going to help us a lot in terms of what Liverpool are going to line up, in which position Frimpong is going to play. Now obviously we know that he can play as a right back or he can play as a right winger, but probably for Liverpool most of the time he's going just to play as a right back. Now everybody knows that Frimpong was a really attacking defender for Bayer Leverkusen, right? Because even if you look at the screen, as you can see here, he's scoring a lot of goals, he's getting a lot of assists. As you can see, in the last year, 5 goals, 5 assists. In 2023-24 he scored 9 goals and he got 7 assists, so those numbers are amazing. Now maybe you're questioning, then yeah, he's just going to be a no-brainer. He's going to play for Liverpool, he's going to play as a right winger or as a right back, so he's going to get a lot of points. Liverpool could get a lot of clean sheet, but it's just not that easy because what is the problem here? The problem could be Bradley. Now obviously we don't have a lot of information. The preseason is going to help us a lot in terms of which formation Liverpool is going to play. Now probably it's still going to be a 4-3-3, but we need to see how exactly they are going to play. Is Frimpong going to play just as a right back? Is Bradley going to get good minutes? Maybe he's going to perform really good in the preseason. And obviously the real problem here, the dilemma here, is that Liverpool have 2 really good right backs, as I said before. So Bradley could be another option. Now, not in terms of FPL, because I think that obviously they just bought Frimpong to replace someone like Trent Alexander-Arnold, so probably he's going to get a lot of starts, but for just that reason that he could be easily rotated in some games. Bradley is a better defensive fullback than Frimpong, and obviously Frimpong is a better attacking defender than Bradley, so it's not going to be that easy. It really depends also on the price, but yeah, he could be a no-brainer, don't get me wrong. I think that Frimpong could be a really amazing option, even better than Trent probably. Now if we talk about his price, I think that obviously he's not going to be 4.5, he's not going to be 5 in my opinion at least, so I think that they are going to price him something like 5.5 or 6. I think that maybe 6.5 would be a little bit too high for him, and probably nobody is going to buy him at that price, at least for game week 1. So a lot is going to depend on his pricing, on how many minutes he's going to get in the preseason, on how he's going to perform. But Frimpong probably is going to be a really popular option. He's going to be pretty template for game week 1, but the risks are there obviously. Now the advantages are he's a real attacking defender. He could play also as a right winger, and that for FPL would be just amazing. But just remember that for Liverpool the right winger is Mohamed Salah, so probably he's not going to get a lot of minutes in that position. But when Salah, or if Salah is going to go to the African Cup of Nations, then Frimpong, yeah, could be a really nice option for the right wing for Liverpool. But now let's move to the other players. So Verst, another player I'm really excited to watch in the Premier League. The deal is not done, but probably is going to be sooner or later, probably next week. They are going to pay a lot of money for Wirst or Verst, whatever you want to call him. He's going to be a great option. Now, I'm not sure in terms of FPL how he's going to perform, but as you can see from the last years, he got a lot of goals, a lot of assists. Now in 2022 and 23 he was injured for half of the season, so yeah, but in the last 2 seasons he was the best player in the Bundesliga. Now it's not going to be easy to make the switch from the Bundesliga to Premier League. We know that the Premier League is a little bit more of a harder league, and he is going to need to adapt a little bit, but he's just a really exceptional player, I think, and he's going to be a great fit in the Liverpool team. And also, as I was talking about Frimpong, now with Verst, I don't see really a lot of competition for this spot. I know that Liverpool have some midfielders, so they have Gravenberg, they have McAllister, they have Soboslai, who's going to probably compete alongside Verst for a spot in the first 11. But to be honest with you, if Liverpool are going to pay more than £100 for Verst, I just think that he's going to start pretty much most games and get good minutes. So I just can't see a world when Verst is going to be on the bench for 3 consecutive games. So I don't think that's going to happen. I think that his minutes are going to be good, and then we just need to see his price. Now he's coming from Bundesliga, because if he was a player from the Premier League, if he was someone like Bukayo Saka or Cole Palmer, then yeah, we could discuss about 11 or 10.5 millions for him. Now, since he's coming from Bundesliga, since he's going to need a little bit of time to adapt to the Premier League, I think that they are not going to price him that high. I can see him priced at 8, 9 or 10. Now, yeah, usually FPL in the last year really nailed the prices. Now, let's see. I'm really curious about his price, but I think that he could be a nice option. Now, if we talk about Liverpool, about the FPL options, everybody probably is going to own Mohamed Salah, depending on his price, again, in Game Week 1. A lot of people are going to own Frimpong, and then we just need to see Gakpo, Diaz. We need to see which players are going to remain at Liverpool, but I can see Wirtz being a really nice option in FPL too. And yeah, he's a really creative player. Now, he's not going to be on penalties, but he could be on some set pieces for Liverpool. So overall, I think that he's going to be a consideration for sure for FPL in the next season. And yeah, I'm really excited to watch him play also next season. The last signing, who's probably going to be announced really soon, is going to be Kerkez from Bournemouth. So again, they are going to have the same discussion here. I think that Frimpong is more attractive to me than someone like Kerkez, just because Kerkez is going to compete against Robertson. Now, I know that Robertson is not playing amazingly at the moment. His performances are going down a little bit from what we know from him in the last seasons of Premier League, but still I think that Robertson, if he's going to remain at Liverpool for this season, is going to be a problem for us in FPL. Because if you want to buy someone like Kerkez, as you can see, the stats for him offensively are not obviously as good as someone like Frimpong, so I just don't think that anyone should go for someone like Kerkez. Yeah, he's going to keep the clean sheet, but if you just want to buy a fullback for Liverpool, you're just going to buy Frimpong, right? Because he's more attacking, and also he's competing with Bradley, and no disrespect to Bradley, but I just think that Robertson is a more experienced player, and if he's going to remain at Liverpool next season, I just can't see a world when Robertson is going to be benched for all the games. So he's just not going to be an option you just brought in for the last 10 minutes or something like that. So I just, although Kerkez, as you can see, played 38 games for Bournemouth last season, so every single Premier League game, I just can't see him playing all the games for Liverpool, because yeah, they are going to rotate a little bit. And for Liverpool, that's amazing, because they have really 2 good fullbacks at right back and 2 really good left backs. So that's really nice business from Liverpool, but from us, from an FPL perspective, I think that's just going to be a headache. Now, yeah, these are the options from Liverpool. Let's see what's going to happen in the next game week, but let's move to the next team. Now, let's move to Manchester City, because they were also a team who were really active in the transfer market for the last weeks at least. Now, from this list, Reinders and Enyuri are done deals, so they are going to be Manchester City players for sure, and Cherky probably is just going to be a matter of time. So if we start with the first one, Reinders, firstly I just want to say that's an amazing signing for Manchester City. He's an amazing player, probably he was the best player in the Serie A, I think, last year, so that's going to improve the City team a lot, and that pairing of Rodri and Reinders is going to be amazing to watch in the next season. But now if we talk in terms of FPL, although as you can see here he scored 10 goals and he got 4 assists in 2024-25, so in the last year, those are really good numbers for central midfielder. But I just think that, at least in my opinion, from my own point of view, I think that he's not going to be really attractive in FPL, because yeah, he's not going to play such an advanced role for Manchester City. He can score goals, we know that, but I think that at least from the beginning he is not going to be such an explosive one. And yeah, maybe he could be the next Gundogan, who knows, but at the moment I just don't think that I'm really interested in him. And yeah, we need to see his price, but at the moment I'm not considering him for my first draft, at least for game week 1. If we move to the second one, that's Cherky from Lyon. Now obviously this is a really interesting option for us in FPL. We need to see what his price is going to be like, but I don't think that he's going to be really expensive, considering that he's also coming from the French league to the Premier League, so we need to see how he's going to adapt and all that stuff. But he's an amazing player also, he's an exceptional player. His numbers are really good. Now these numbers are just from the championship in France, so he scored 8 goals and 11 assists, but he got a lot of goals and assists in the Europa League. In the French, he just scored in the last game for France. Now I think that he could be a bargain, maybe a really nice option, but the problem, like always for Manchester City, is they have a lot of good midfielders, a lot of good wingers. Now probably he's going to play as a number 10 or something like that. They have Foden, they lost Kevin De Bruyne, they are going to lose some players, probably they are going to sell someone like Grealish, maybe Bernardo Silva, maybe a lot of players are going to come in also, still the last day of the transfer market. But yeah, usually with City they have a lot of good midfielders, a lot of good players, so the rotation is the problem here. But if he's going to get regular minutes, I think that he could be a nice option. Again, we need to see the preseason, we need to see how he's going to perform. Also Oscar Bob, I just remembered, he's going to be back probably, so yeah, we need to see with Manchester City. I'm not sure if he's going to be in my team for game week 1, but he could be a nice option depending if he's going to be really cheap or not. Now the last signing for Manchester City is Enyuri from Wolverhampton. So with Enyuri I don't really need to discuss too much about him, because everybody knows him from the Premier League, from Wolverhampton. He's a really good attacking defender. Now the problem here is that Wolverhampton played a 3-5-2 formation, so Enyuri, pretty much his favorite position is as a left wing back. So I don't know, for Manchester City probably he's going to play as a left back, probably they are going to stick with the 4 at the back formation, so we need to see how he's going to integrate in that position. I don't know if he's going to be that attacking for Manchester City as he was from Wolverhampton, but we need to see again how they are going to line up in the preseason. I think that he could be a nice option. He's not going to be cheap, probably he's going to be 5 or 5.5 or maybe even 6, who knows. But now this pretty much is bad news for Gvardiol, because Gvardiol played as a left back for Manchester City a lot of time last year. Now we know that he's going to play probably as a center half if Enyuri is going to play as a left back, so that diminishes his appeal. And yeah, although Gvardiol is going to be a little bit more expensive than Enyuri, probably everyone is just going to think that Enyuri is going to be a bargain and just save the money and just go for Enyuri, who's going to be probably more attacking than someone like Gvardiol. But again, we need to see which players they are going to buy. I could see someone like Anuary or Guardiola being on the bench for game week 1. So with Manchester City, you don't know for sure which players are going to start. Now, obviously, Guardiola probably is going to be the safe option in defense, but Anuary again. They paid a lot of money for him. I mean, not a lot, 30 or 40 millions, but still I think that I'm expecting him to play a lot of minutes, obviously, and he could be a nice option. But let's see the fixtures, let's see the pricing, and now let's move to Manchester United. Okay, so Manchester United are looking like they are going to make some signings for the next year, and obviously they really need that because they were really bad in the last season. And now everybody knew for a lot of time that Cunha is going to Manchester United, so Cunha is the done deal here. I included here Gyökeres, but with him is not really sure that he's going to move to Manchester United. We just have a lot of rumors, and he could be a great option for them, obviously. And Mbeumo, they just put in a second bid for him. I think that Mbeumo really wants to join Manchester United, and I think that this deal is going to go through. Now, if we start with Cunha and Mbeumo are the two players who outperformed their statistics in the last year. So their numbers were amazing in 2024-2025, but also they outperformed, as I said before, their performance. As you can see here, Cunha scored 15 goals last year and he got 6 assists, considering that he didn't get any penalty, I think, Wolverhampton. So the thing for both of them, Cunha and Mbeumo, let's talk about both of them because they probably are not going to be on penalties. They were on penalties for Wolverhampton, respectively Brentford, but at Manchester United, Bruno Fernandes, if he's going to stay, and it's looking like Bruno Fernandes is going to stay at Manchester United, he's going to be on penalties, and that also diminishes his appeal for Bruno Fernandes because probably he's going to play a more deeper role than usually, and Cunha and Mbeumo are not going to be on penalties, are not going to be on a lot of set pieces, considering that Bruno is here. So that diminishes a little bit their appeal because Mbeumo, for example, he scored a lot of penalties, I think, last year. So yeah, that really counts. Now, obviously, he's going to get a price rise also because his season was amazing with 20 goals. That's really incredible for a Brentford player in general. Now, these signings are amazing, don't get me wrong. Cunha and Mbeumo are really good options, and if they are going to get also Gyökeres, Cunha, Gyökeres and Mbeumo, that's a really nice forward line. Those are really good players, but I really need to see more from Manchester United because usually they bought a lot of players in the last years, they just didn't perform as they were expected to. Now, I don't think that is going to happen again because I just don't know. I just have a feeling that Cunha and Mbeumo are still going to perform well. Now, I'm not saying that they are going to hit these numbers because probably Mbeumo is not going to score 20 goals for Manchester United next year, but I still think that he could be a great option. Now, because he's going to get a price rise, probably something like 8 or 8.5 millions, maybe even 9 millions, I just don't think that... I don't know, it really depends, because if the fixtures are going to be amazing for Manchester United in the opening 5 or 10, let's say, if they are going to play against two new promoted sides from the Champions League, then yeah, I could see myself having at least 1 or 2 Manchester United players, but we just need to see what's going to happen in the preseason, how they are going to perform. I just don't think that overnight Manchester United silently are going to be a good team, because we just need to remember that they finished 15 in the Premier League last year for a reason, so they were really bad. Now they are going to make some signings, some good signings, as I said before, but yeah, I need to see more from Manchester United to consider having 2 or 3 options from them, so that's not going to be the case for me, at least I think, for game week 1, but these players are really good, as I said before. Cunha, Mbeumo, I can see them being at some point a consideration, at least for my FPL team. So yeah, let's just see. With Gyökeres, the rumors are that he's leaning towards going to Manchester United. Now I really don't need to present him a lot, the numbers speaks for themselves. So he got 39 goals in 33 games, that's just amazing. Everybody knows that he's a really nice forward. Now he played in the Portugal League, so it is a big difference, don't get me wrong, from Portugal to the Premier League, but that doesn't mean he's not going to score a lot of goals. Now probably he's not going to get 39 like he did last year, but Gyökeres is going to be a great option for United. But again, we don't know if he's going to be on penalties, and that's also a major factor in the last years of FPL. We are really looking for players who have multiple routes to points. So obviously, let's just say we're picking between Cunha and Mbeumo, and let's just pretend that Mbeumo is on penalties and Cunha is not. So if they are going to be something like the same price, then you're just going to pick Mbeumo because he's going to be on corners, on penalties, on set pieces. So that could easily make your decision easier. Now with Cunha, what I didn't mention is that probably he's going to be a midfielder in FPL next season, because as you may know, he was a forward for Wolverhampton, but because of the zone he played in, probably he's going to be a midfielder. And at the moment I'm leaning towards, if I need to pick one from Manchester United, probably would be someone like Cunha in game week 1. But let's see the other transfer news. Now for the last part, let's see the other options I included here. So these players on the list are all done deals, so they are going to play for those teams the next year. Now probably for me at least the most interesting one is Kelleher, who just came in to Brentford from Liverpool. So the thing is, as you can see, I included here his games. He played just 10 games for Liverpool last season, and I didn't include the clean sheets, but it doesn't really matter. Everybody knows that Kelleher is a really nice, it's a really good goalkeeper in general. So he was amazing when Alisson missed out for Liverpool. So shortly everybody knows that he's a good goalkeeper. He's going to start for Brentford. Flecken was transferred in by Bayer Leverkusen, so Kelleher is going to be first choice here. Now the only question here is what's his price going to look like, because I can see him be 4.5 millions, and if that's going to happen, probably he's going to be a really template and really popular player for game week 1, considering also depending on the fixtures Brentford are going to have. Now because they bought Kelleher, that's not going to make Brentford a tough defense. Now they're going to make them a little bit better, maybe defensive wise, but they are not known for really good defensive performances in the last year at least. Now Flecken got a lot of save points in the last year, so that's pretty much what's going to happen probably for Kelleher in the last year. And the thing is, he's going to be cheap, and depending on the fixtures, probably he's going to be in a lot of teams. With Kayode, he was on loan, so he didn't play a lot of games for Brentford. He played just 12, and they just bought him now from Fiorentina, I think. So he's playing as a right back. He's a really attacking one. He could also be an option if he's going to be something like 4.5 millions or maybe 5, but for 5 probably I wouldn't buy him. So yeah, he could be also a nice option from Brentford. And then I don't know what to say about these players being really good FPL options at the moment in time, because I pretty much don't know anything. I don't know the fixtures, I don't know the pricing of these players, and also I don't know if they are going to start a lot of games. So with Delap, let's start, because maybe at some point he could be a consideration into our FPL plans. They just bought him from Ipswich. He scored 12 goals. Considering that he played for a relegated team, I think that's decent in 37 games. The problem with Chelsea is that at the moment they have Jackson, they have Delap, and also they are looking to add another forward probably. So that's the problem. It is a good transfer, Delap. I like him as a player, but I just don't think that he's going to play a lot of games for Chelsea, at least starting a lot of games. But again, we need to see what's going to happen in preseason. At the moment, he's not a consideration for me. The same goes for Estevao. They have a lot of good midfielders, a lot of good forwards. We need to see who's gonna remain at Chelsea and who's going to come in. But Estevao, again, another really expensive signing, and probably at some point he's going to play some minutes, and who knows, maybe he's going to be a good FPL option for us. Probably he's going to be also a lot more cheaper than other options. And I just added here Enzo Lefebvre from Sunderland, so a newly promoted side. He played for them in the last season in Championship. They just bought him from AS Roma, I think, for a lot of money. So yeah, I think that depending on his price, if he's going to be 4.5, 5 millions, and if he's looking like he's going to be playing an attacking role, I think that he could be an option. If at some point, I don't know, maybe we have a lot of good forwards, maybe we're going to play with Haaland, Isak and Gyökeres, I don't know, for an example, and we're going to play a 3-4-3 formation, then he could be a nice cheap option if you want a fifth really cheap midfielder. So that's the only reason I included him here. So yeah, this was the video for today. Please let me know down in the comments if you enjoyed it, if you want to see more, if you just want me to take a break from FPL at the moment. But yeah, thanks a lot for watching, for supporting. Please consider leaving a like, hit that subscribe button if you're new on this channel, and I'm going to see you next time. Bye.